Hey guys, I'm Nisha Homi. Today I'm sharing two healthy ragi uttapam recipe along with an immune boosting and protein rich chutney recipe. This uttapam batter is made without rice or rice flour. So let's get started with the recipe. Into a bowl, I'm adding in 1 cup of ragi. Ragi is also known as finger millet. Adding in half cup urad dal. I'm adding in some water. I'm going to wash and rinse this thoroughly or until the water runs clear. Millets like ragi, when locally sourced, may have sand, dirt or dust particles. So you need to make sure that it is washed thoroughly. So I'm going to wash it under running water. Once washed and rinsed, add in some more water and I'm going to allow it to soak for about 6 to 8 hours. Millets should be soaked for at least a minimum of 6 hours to help release the phytic acid content in them. Millets always should be soaked a little more than you would normally soak rice. 6 to 8 hours later, the urad dal and the whole ragi are nicely soaked. I'm going to wash and rinse it again. Into a bowl, I'm adding in half cup ragi flakes, also known as ragi poha or flattened ragi. Add in some water and I'm going to allow it to soak for about 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes I'll transfer this onto a strainer. Into my blender jar, I'm adding in the soaked urad dal and ragi. Add in the soaked ragi flakes. Add in half cup water, pink Himalayan salt as needed, and I'm blending this into a dosha batter consistency. Pour the blended batter into a bowl. With my hand, I'm mixing and squishing the batter. This process will help with easy fermentation, so try not to skip this process. Cover it with the lid and allow it to ferment overnight or for about 8 to 10 hours. Also note that I'm not covering it with a tight lid as we need some aeration for the wild airborne yeast to help with the fermentation process. So do not use a tight lid. And the next day morning, you can see that the batter is nicely fermented. Fermentation time depends upon the climate of the place you live in. I live in tropical Kerala, hence the batter usually gets fermented overnight or by around 8 to 10 hours. If you're living in a cold place, you may need longer fermentation time. You can see how airy the fermented ragi dosha batter is. The best thing about this dosha batter is that you can keep it in the refrigerator and it will stay good for a couple of days. To make the immune boosting and protein rich coconut chutney, I am using my homemade salted amlas. Amlas are also known as Indian gooseberry. I have already shared how to make salted amla. Links will be updated in the description box below. So I'm going to use one amla and I'm slicing the amla into the chutney grinder. Amla is a good source of vitamin C. It helps to boost your immunity. I always try to preserve amlas, especially when they are in season. However, if you have access to fresh amla, you can use fresh amla instead. To make this protein rich, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of roasted gram dal. To make it more nutrient dense, I'm adding in a couple of sprigs of fresh curry leaves. Curry leaves are a good source of iron and folate, hence I always try to add them in my recipes. 2 red chilies or as needed. Instead of red chilies, you can use green chilies instead. Next, I'm adding in half cup of grated coconut. Into this, add in half cup of water, pink Himalayan salt as needed, and I'm going to blend this. Once blended, pour the chutney into a serving bowl. Pour the tadka over the chutney and my super healthy coconut chutney is ready to serve. I'm heating my cast iron tawa and I'm lightly greasing it with wood pressed gingerly oil, also known as sesame oil or til oil. Once the tawa is heated, reduce the flame to the lowest and pour in 1 ladleful of the ragi dosha batter. Lightly spread it out. Sprinkle chopped onion, finely chopped onion, green chilies, finely chopped coriander leaves. Drizzle a little bit of wood pressed sesame oil, also known as gingerly oil. You can also use A2 desi ghee instead. Cover and allow the uttapam to get cooked on low flame. It should take 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes later, open the lid. Serve the onion ragi uttapam onto a serving plate and enjoy it with the coconut chutney. Let me show you how soft the uttapam is. For the next uttapam recipe, I'm using 5-day-old moong dal sprouts. I have already shared how to make moong dal sprouts. Links will be updated below this video. Please do check it out. Now, the best thing about sprouts is that once it is sprouted to your desired length, you can store it in the refrigerator and it will stay good for about 3 to 4 days. Pour in 1 ladleful of the ragi dosha batter. Lightly spread the batter. Reduce the flame to the lowest. Top it with the moong dal sprouts. Sprinkle some chopped green chilies, finely chopped coriander leaves. Drizzle in wood pressed sesame oil. Cover it with the lid and let it cook on low flame for about 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes later, open the lid and transfer the sprouts ragi uttapam onto a plate. And my super healthy sprouts ragi uttapam is ready to serve. You can see how soft the uttapam is. Enjoy the sprouts ragi uttapam with coconut chutney. So guys, do try these healthy recipes and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.